We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at Htown Wheelhouse on Twitter and Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Alrighty. Well, we got a big show planned for you. We got a lot to talk about, including Jose's failed leadoff experiment. I mean, he did something that Dusty Baker's only seen twice in his career. So we got to take him out of the leadoff spot. That's definitely. We have a big section of clickbait today. A lot of stuff that James Click said. And then Jose Abreu, not Jose Abreu.
We got Jose Abreu. That's big news.
Yeah.
You mean Brian
Abreu? Yeah, it's been a long day, but Brian Abreu pitched really good today. And Maid Park is open, 50% capacity, and tickets go on sale tomorrow, Wednesday. So get your tickets if you want to go to Maid Park in April. And there's a lot more that we're going to talk about on this episode of the Locked On Astros podcast. Don't forget, you can get Locked On Astros on podcast app Himalaya, as well as Google Podcasts, radio.com, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. When you get in your car, tell your smart device to play the podcast, Locked On Astros. And don't forget that this episode is also brought to you by Locker Room. Download the app and join me this week. I believe we're going to do it maybe Thursday night. And to get in on action, you go to Locker Room, you download the app and create an account, and then search at Eric Huysman, changing the way we talk sports. And you can participate, you can ask questions, you can ask to speak, and you can actually ask a question, and we ask your opinion. We did it once last week. It was a great time. So let's go and talk about the failed experiment of Jose Altuve as the leadoff hitter. Jose Altuve, love you, man, but you can't be hitting into a triple play with the bases loaded. If you're going to be the leadoff hitter, you're going to have to get a double, triple, a single, maybe a bunt. Do something, but not a triple play. Even Dusty Baker's like, yeah, I haven't seen one of those in a long time. That's only the second one I've ever seen. So the Astros have had 10 triple plays turned against them in the regular season. They went more than 27 years without having triple play turned on them. They had some turned on them in 2016, 18, and 19. And we all remember the one where Evan Gattis got triple play turned on him. But this is crazy. But you know why Jose Altuve needs to be the leadoff hitter in all seriousness? And I'm totally kidding about the whole failed experiment. He drove in Miles Straw. So you get Miles Straw on base. He steals a couple bases. I saw that he stole a couple bases today. And then who drives him in? Jose Altuve. I'm not so sure that Miles Straw can drive in players like Jose Altuve can.
Yeah, Miles Straw is not an RBI. He is a run producer, not an RBI producer. Jose Altuve. Yeah. So I was waiting to let you get out everything you were saying about this, because you and I hadn't really talked about this pre-show. And so I was going, now wait, I've got to defend. I was starting to think I have to defend Jose Altuve, because that triple play didn't really have to do with him, other than he hit the ball, that the ball didn't drop in front of the fielder's glove. No, I know. So I'm just saying, so as you're talking, I'm sitting there going, okay, I was like building up my defense, like I was going to be Jose Altuve's defense attorney. But that is interesting that they've gone 27 years without having a triple play turned on them
until 2016.
Yeah, that was crazy. So the triple play is always fun and unique, because I don't think people ever expect it. You never go, oh, hey, we're going to get a triple play here. You may joke about it, but the rarity and the kind of the excitement as a true baseball fan seeing one is really cool. But that is a great point to make about Altuve driving in Miles Straw.
Right.
He is there to produce runs. It makes more sense to put him at the bottom of the lineup. And it's like I tell kids that I coach in baseball, it's not about where you hit in the lineup. It's what you do with your spot in the lineup. And if Miles Straw could be more effective and more valuable in the 8 spot or 9 spot, I think Miles Straw would accept that. If that means he's playing center field every day and he's in the lineup every day, he shouldn't care whether he's hitting first or 9th or 8th.
Yeah, so it was a sinking line drive that was hit to second baseman Jose Peraza. Then he threw it to double off Miles Straw, and then they threw it back to first base. So that's an easy triple play. And I was watching the play, and they're like, that could be a double play. Oh, that could be a triple play. And Blummer was like, oh, I forgot what he said, but yeah, that you don't see that often. So yeah, I was joking about the failed experiment. I think Jose Altuve is a great leadoff hitter. So speaking of a failed experiment, that was what Jose. Stop saying Jose. That's what.
You love Jose tonight. You're like Jose Cruz.
That's what Brian Abreu was in 2019. But today he had a great start, and he's probably going to start the season in AAA. But he said after his start today, he pitched 3 innings. I believe he had how many strikeouts? He had 4 strikeouts. He faced 9 batters, and he looked really good today. And he said that he was that Brent Strom was really excited for him. I've been working really hard in this offseason, get ready for this year. It's huge for me. He believes in me, and I won't disappoint him. He's always supported me, and I tried to make me feel confident in myself and comfortable in all things I'm doing. If I'm doing something wrong, he tries to teach me something to get me doing the right things. So like I said, he could be ticketed for the Skeeters, but at the same time, we don't know what's really going on with Andre Scrub, so he could be part of that back end of the rotation. But at the same time, they're stretching him out as rotation depth.
Yeah, he does have the stuff to be a rotation guy to come in and maybe a spot start, a supplemental starter. We know that they're going to need extra arms. He just has to stay in control. He has somewhat of a live arm. He can throw hard, and he did say this. I mean, he recognizes that he's a young guy, that he's got to be ready for every situation, and so what he needs to do is get into a routine. He needs to gain confidence. He needs to put 2020 behind him, because it was a disastrous year for him. We've talked about that almost ad nauseum, about how he came in. I believe isn't he the guy who came in out of shape?
Yeah.
And overweight. I mean, we've mentioned that multiple times in the last couple of weeks. But I think as a young pitcher, where you see guys shine in this league is when they do something like that and they come back from it, and it makes them better. If they get better from it, then they are a more valuable asset. If they don't get better from it and they continue to be lazy and they don't work, then that's when the ship is sailed. I mean, AKA Singleton. Some people just never learn from the mistakes that they make and how to get better and make themselves better.
The one player who accepted that contract extension,
You are not lying. Wow.
So
what a genius move.
Yeah, congratulations, John Singleton. You're still making that money. But speaking of which, I think I made a mistake earlier. He did not have a disastrous, Brian Brady didn't have a disastrous 2019. He had a disastrous 2020.
No, and that's what I said.
Yeah. No. I messed up.
Oh, earlier. You said it. Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, you messed up. I was right. I'm chicken.
All right. So Jake Odorizzi will make his first start for the Astros on Wednesday against the Nationals. So that will be exciting. Something we can maybe talk about. And Kent Emanuel, he's the 3rd-round pick in the 2013 draft. He has yet to pitch in the MLB. He's making an impression. He is suspended, I believe, for the first part of the season. I don't remember exactly how many games, but he's making an impression on Dusty Baker, and he is a left-handed pitcher. There's always room for a left-handed pitcher, so that's something to keep in mind. So at some point this year, we could see Ken Emanuel. So that's good to see. So speaking of beneficial, having the right part for your car is something that everybody could use, like having the right reliever for a bullpen. So going to rockauto.com would be something you would recommend, right?
I would recommend rockauto.com. With the ever increasing numbers of makes and models, it's impossible for your stores to basically house all the parts that you need. So why wait? Why go to a counter, have a guy look it up and tell him he can't get you the part that you need to get when you can go to rockauto.com. You can go to rockauto.com because they have reliable low prices. They have an easily navigable website, and no matter what it is you need, they have it. I mean, anything from brake pads to windshield wipers to carpet for your car. I don't know who needs carpet, but apparently people out there still have carpet in their cars. So rockauto.com, again, is a catalog that is unique and remarkably easy to navigate, quickly see all the parts that are available for your vehicle. Best of all, prices at rockauto.com are always reliably low, and some in the same price for professionals and do-it-yourselfers like you and me, Eric. So go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck, right? Locked on in there. How did you hear about us box? So they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. Rockauto.com.
Get all the sports news you need in under 20 minutes with the Locked On Today podcast. Host Peter Bukowski updates you with all the latest news in every major sports with the help of our local experts. Follow the Locked On Today podcast wherever you get your podcast. So speaking of the breaking news of today, let's talk about something we're supposed to talk in segment 1, but I wanted to go ahead and wait till segment 2. Maid Park has decided, well, I guess not Maid Park, but the people who work in Maid Park have decided to go ahead and open up in 2020. 2021. All the different years are kind of blending into me to 50% capacity for at least April. We already know that the Rangers have decided to go to 100% capacity for the last 2 exhibition games, and then opening day, then kind of ramp down after that.
That makes no sense.
Makes no sense. But the Astros are saying, yeah, we talked to our season ticket holders, and from their response, about 50% of them have decided, yeah, we'll go ahead and switch from our normal season ticket holders seats to go ahead and allow for social distancing. The others are like, nah, we rather sit by our friends. That's why we have these season tickets, so we can sit by our club. This is our posse. So we want to sit there. So they've decided that they can do maximum 50% capacity. So tickets are going on sale on Wednesday. I know that they're doing some pre-sales. I'm going to try to get some tickets tomorrow. I think I have pre-sale tomorrow. I think there's some other pre-sales that have already been going on. But 50%, that's a lot of people, but at the same time,
I
that's
think it's
only about 22,000 maybe max.
Yeah. I think that's great though. That is absolutely music to my ears. I believe they're going to require a mask. I haven't seen, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing. They definitely, the fans deserve it. The players deserve it. And I think we've gotten smart enough and we figured this thing out enough where we can do this safely. You know, so when you're saying tomorrow, if you're listening on Tuesday, are they going on sale Wednesday this week or Tuesday this week?
Well, there's some pre-sales going on Tuesday. Like
Tuesday.
I have a
Okay.
pre-sale
So
tomorrow.
yeah. So
Tuesday,
if you're listening,
the general public goes
right
on sale Wednesday.
So if you're in the pre-sale, get ready if you're listening Tuesday morning. But if it's Tuesday, you still got time. If you don't have a season ticket, you don't have a pre-sale. Everything else goes on sale then. The tickets are a little pricey for that opening season game. I mean, they are doing that dynamic pricing, and probably because they're selling fewer tickets. Mezzanine tickets are going for face value about $114, which is kind of crazy expensive. I think for a mezzanine ticket, I think it's a bit overpriced, but I guess for the supply and demand and it only being 50% capacity, it kind of makes sense. So it's definitely not budget friendly for a lot of people out there. But if you really want to go, I was going to go. Oh, hey, let me just say this. I'm going to give Eric some mad props. He's like, oh, this year and that year. Hey, this guy is on his 3rd podcast right now. Like, you guys may be listening to Astros, Locked On Astros. I got my schedule all screwed up. We had a baseball game tonight, and I scheduled us to be guests on a podcast. And you know what? Eric hit a home run and took it for me. And then he helped out another Locked On host. So this is his 3rd podcast. Eric, thank you so much for picking up my slack, because that's why we make such a great team. We always got each other's back. I really appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem. But the Astros will be playing 14 home games in April, beginning with the 3-game home series versus the A's, April 8th through the 10th. So that's something to consider. And they think that they can. They did a survey and they said it really helped us validate that we thought we could reasonably that we can responsibly and safely meet the demands and still provide enjoyable experience for fans. And so also we have to understand that they did have the college baseball tournaments. And so they had fans there. And so they were able to
Mhm.
socially distance and we saw people at the World Series. And so
Yeah.
baseball has experimented with this. So this is something that they have worked with. So I'm excited to see fans back at the ballpark. I'm not sure how many games I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna try to go to opening day, but I'm not sure how many other games I'm gonna try to go to this year for other reasons. But this is something I'm excited to see is fans. Like I know players are definitely like when Carlos Correa hits that first home run of the season, everybody's gonna be like,
Or Yordan Alvarez, like when he hits a home run, it's gonna be easier to get a baseball from Yordan Alvarez because there'll be
right.
fewer people going for it. So there you go.
Alrighty. So speaking of celebrating, I think we need to celebrate the fact that the Astros are ranked 29th out of 30 teams with the best 29th best farm system in baseball. And it says that when your best prospect, Forrest Whitley, has Tommy John surgery, you're kind of out of luck. So, yeah, the Astros farm system, we had Jim Callis on last week, and he said that it's not good. And there's we talked about this on the Locked On Indian podcast. We're gonna have that on later on this week, but the Astros farm system doesn't have those big sexy names, but there's some talent there that can help. But there's not any big stars there. Maybe Pedro Leon, maybe Jeremy Pena, maybe Hunter Brown down the road. But there's not that big guaranteed superstars that you can automatically guarantee they're going to be like the Vladimir Guerreros or the Fernando Tatis. You're muted.
Wander Franco for the Rays,
Right.
guys like that. Luis Robert, who just came up with the White Sox last year. There are, Bobby Witt Jr., who the Royals are like really, really excited about. There are some kids out there that, dude, baseball the next 5 years is going to see this fountain of youth be injected into the game, and I hope it grows the game because the game needs growth. It doesn't grow the game, Eric. When I see advertisements for paying $129 for MLB.TV for all the out of market games,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't grow the MLB is when people that live within 400 miles of 6 different teams in the major leagues and they're not able to see 16 of the, they're not able to see like 16 games because they're too close in proximity. So MLB definitely has their work cut out for them.
VPN.
Yeah, I know, but I called him out on Twitter because it still kind of pisses me off. No, it doesn't kind of. It does piss me off. Sorry.
That is perfectly okay. Speaking of betting on things, let's go and talk about betonline.ag.
BetOnline.ag. I mean, what better time of the year would it be to get involved with BetOnline.ag? They are your online sportsbook experts. It's the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. You have the NBA here. I mean, I don't even talk about football anymore. It's whatever. College basketball is here. March Madness, we are in the heat of the moment. The NHL is in full swing. Go bet on those things. Heck, forget that. If you're not a sports guy or girl, you just love Astros baseball, but you watch TV shows, reality shows, award shows. They have that real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine. Bet Online has you covered for all news, scores, and odds, and the best way to place your bets. And it's free to sign up. So head to the website or use your mobile device and sign up today and receive 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. But you've got to use the promo code Locked On. Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts.
All righty, it's March Madness, and a lot of people are celebrating in large stadiums without masks and everything. So, if you're celebrating for your favorite Built Bar, what would you celebrate for?
I would celebrate with okay, so we know this whole March Madness thing's going on, right? Well, Built Bar has their own like March Madness tournament going on with these amazing tasting protein bars, 100% chocolate on all bars. And so let's talk about this. Today's matchup, Tuesday, is chocolate brownie chunk versus lemon almond cheesecake. Now, I haven't seen the results from the birthday cake versus coconut, but if birthday cake doesn't win that, I had one today. Eric has one in his hand. Dude, I'm not even lying. I thought someone tricked me and put a piece of real birthday cake in that wrapper. It is outstanding. So go and vote. I'm going to tell you, vote for chocolate brownie chunk. That's an amazing Built Bar. What's great is you go to builtbar.com or built or bar, sorry, at bar underscore built on Twitter. It's kind of hard to say. Remember to use a promo code locked15 to get 15% off your next order. That is locked15 to get 15% off at builtbar.com. Check back to see who won today's matchup and who will become the best tasting protein bar in the land.
Beginning this Wednesday, the Locked On MLB podcast is featuring one of our biggest events of the year, the Locked On MLB Division Preview Series. All of our local experts in every MLB market answers the biggest questions around each team. Yes, the Houston Astros as well. Follow the Locked On MLB podcast on the radio.com app or wherever you get your podcasts and hear what everybody has to say. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and get to our segment called Clickbait. And I'm going to go ahead and read this, and we're going to go ahead, and this was from MLB.com. I'm pretty sure it was probably Brian McTaggart who was talking to him about this. But we're going to go ahead and interpret what he really means by this. So this is click on Correa and Lance McCullers' possible extensions.
So you're reading and I'm interpreting?
Or do you want to read and I'll interpret?
You know what? I want to know what you think because I know what I think about this. Okay. So this is what he said on Correa and LMJ's extensions. First of all, it is a testament to the organization, the city of Houston, the fans, the environment, that you have players that are so vocal about wanting to stay here. It says a lot about the city and the franchise, and we certainly wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't explore those kind of interests. But right now, we're going to keep those conversations private. And when there's something to report, we'll let you guys know. Eric?
You know I can't say a damn thing about that. This is private conversation. I can't say a dang thing about that. We want to sign that guy. You know we do, but we can't say anything about that. We want to give him that money. He wants that money. We just can't do anything about that. Next question, please.
You sound a cross between a used car salesman and dude, that was awesome. That was great. All right. Biggest takeaways from camp. First and foremost, just having the fans back in the stands has been great. It's just highlighted how weird it was last year to play all those games without anybody in the ballpark. Beyond that, it's been a pleasant return to normalcy in a lot of ways. And we really want Eric and Brett to show up at the games. Oh, wait, that's not in there. I added that. We're dealing with the normal injuries here and there that you would expect. We're dealing with the normal camp battles here and there that you would expect. Thank you, Captain Obvious. And so just being able to have those conversations about a roster of a baseball team and focus on that as opposed to the health and safety protocols, that kind of stuff has been great.
You know what? It's great to not have to go to ball games anymore and look at this volleyball with a face on it and say, Wilson, and then see all these little cardboard cutouts everywhere and then be like, are we playing baseball? Where are all the fans? And why are all these people having these masks on and everything? And what's going on here? And why are these people getting injured and everything? So
Dude, you are a hustler. You freaking practice this crap. Anyways, on pitching depth, this is clickbait. The organizational depth that to we have at starting pitching in particular is going to be a huge benefit to us this year. We might have to get a little bit creative in the first couple of weeks of the season, but fortunately, we have a lot of off days. And we have pitching coaches who are able to work with the talent that we got to maximize and try to get 27 outs as efficiently as possible.
All right. Can we get a robot arm on Justin Verlander? Verlander, can you get a robot arm or something here? Because we got to get some people to get some outs here. And when can we get a replacement finger for Framber Valdez here? And we're gonna have to get a whole bunch of rookies to pitch a whole bunch of innings here. And but otherwise, I think we get the job done.
Yeah, so organizational depth that we have at starting pitching, but then he kind of digresses and says we don't really have depth and it's going to be tricky, but that's kind of funny. All right, the fourth outfielder, more clickbait. This is a lot of clickbait. This is good stuff.
You don't have to read all of it.
Okay, well,
you don't have to read most. I mean, you don't have to read the whole thing. Just read the.
Okay. So we're not concerned about it. The fourth outfielder. I think that we have quite a few guys and a lot of.
I can't sleep at night.
At night I can't sleep. Sorry, I'm gonna start rapping. And the question is just gonna be who's gonna step up and go get it. Okay, dude. These are like John Madden quotes. Like, hey, it's 4th and 10. We got a punt here. It's like, no, thank you, John Madden. So, anyways, I'm gonna stop reading the clickbait. Here's the thing. He's doing his job, and I can't imagine how incredibly tough it is to not only put together a functional MLB roster. That's got to be difficult in itself. I know people act like they're experts out there, but that's incredibly hard because there's very few GMs, right? And B, having to do the gymnastics they're doing with this roster and having to build it up because it is a concern. And as much as I love the Astros and as much as I think they're going to be successful and one of the top teams in the AL, there's going to have to be a lot of things that go right because they're not starting out 100% healthy.
Some more stuff he did say on prospects shining in camp. He said, I would say Peter Solomon has looked good. Jairo Solis has looked good. Hunter Brown as what he brings. Obviously, Tyler Brown is another guy.
Tyler Ivey.
What did I say?
You said Tyler Brown.
Whatever. And then he said, but no, this is the kicker. But I'm always hesitant to name guys because I'm inevitably going to forget to mention 2 or 3 guys. So he mentions a whole bunch of guys and says, you know what? I probably shouldn't be mentioning names.
I probably should stop. He's like Jose Ivey and Tyler Abreu. Sorry.
Yeah. But then he talks about on bounce back seasons from Altuve, Bregman, Gurriel. And he says, no question, these guys clearly took the offseason very seriously. In other words, last year they sucked. This year, they clearly took this off season very seriously. They went to work. They didn't just spend all season drinking the Belching Beaver, and
that's a good segue.
And just they ate their Built Bars, and you can tell that they built up. And
we are the Locked On Built Bar Network.
Yeah, so. You can tell that they are a little bit more focused this year. And I as I was talking on one of the podcasts today, is that there's a lot of distractions last year. So I think the Astros are geared and they're ready, and they seem to be a lot more focused. And Carlos Correa ditched the braids. So hopefully that's a good thing.
Yeah, sorry. I not a fan of the Carlos Correa braids. I'll just be real honest. I know people are like, oh, they were amazing. I'm like, dude, stop. No, like that whole like show me stuff. Like, let's say that for the off season, dude. It's time to play baseball. Yeah. It's not time to be an Instagram model. I'm not big on all that stuff. I just think they need to focus, you know.
Speaking of being Instagram model, I'm sure Garrett Stubbs is not really that right now with the big knot on his head after getting hit in the head by a pitch today. But he said he was okay and he tried to stay in the game. But this is what what Dusty Baker had to say. But we thought we were going to take him out for the concussion protocol. And after the game, he tweeted that said he's fine. Thank you for all the well wishes and everything. And even Brian Taggart was like, hey, can I quote you on this and everything? So, but Dusty Baker said it was really scary at any time you get hit in the head. He said he was okay and tried to stay in the game. So, but if you look at the pitch, I don't know if you saw it, but
I haven't watched it.
It was scary. Like it literally hit him right in the helmet. It was a curveball, I believe, if I remember correctly.
How hard was it thrown? Did you see
I didn't see the speed, but it looked like a breaking pitch. If it was a curveball, it was like a slider or something, but it hit him in the head.
So it wasn't like a fastball to the dome like Roger Clemens to Piazza. Okay.
No,
I mean, the fact that it was a curveball though, but yeah, no, dude, this is major league stuff. These are guys throwing a baseball really hard. So yeah, that could
Dusty
be.
Baker said that the starters will go 9 innings again on Wednesday, including Alex Bregman. This is something that all the starters did today, except for Jason Castro and Garcia. They both they didn't go the whole game, but it's good to see all the starters going a full 9 innings. So that's something that we like to see, especially Alex Bregman. They are taking the training wheels off. They are taking the little backpack with the little leash off. The little.
Dude, I talked about that today in my class, and I was like, if your parents put you on a leash and you're a kid, they are not good parents.
All righty. Well, that's all we got for tonight's Locked On Astros podcast. Don't forget to go check us out on YouTube and go and give us a like and subscribe to us. And we're trying to get to 100 subscribers by April 1st. And
by April 1st, by opening day.
Yes. All right. So go Astros, and we will talk to you tomorrow.